Well, I think it's safe to say that the sheep aren't the only ones that like the grass here. Nice April evening. It's a great time to be out. This is Carl from Bunker Farms giving you a little update on what's been going on. I know I've been quiet, but here's some stuff that's happening just to show you that I'm not slacking too much. So garden looks about the same, but this is new. This is the compost shed. If you guys read that newsletter, we'll get a little more of a tour on that later. That's gonna be it's gonna be where a lot of magic happens in terms of getting some fertility going here. Oh yeah, that's Obi. Obi's a new puppy. He's another reason why I'm not cranking vegetables out quite yet. But yeah, so compost. Another thing is cover crops. I'm doing a lot of, so this here, it's kind of hard to tell on video. This is rye. Most of the garden was actually planted in this. Kind of as winter was kind of coming in last year, as the fall season was winding down, I would basically just seed in the rye right behind whatever the last crop was that pulled out. I think that even the last rye got seeded like the first week of December. And it lives through the winter, and it's ready to go as soon as things start warming up, and even February and March it starts putting on a lot of weight. So these beds here are going to be slated to some things that I'm going to try out and experiment where normally I've been cutting all this out and taking it out, but I'm going to wait until the rye hits a certain stage. It's pretty crazy what they've classified grasses, like how many different stages they have. But until, if you they have a nice seed head coming up, I'll have to wait a little bit. Here, these are just starting to do it, so I'm guessing it won't be long. What I'm going to do here for these beds is basically just take the whole thing and just fold it over. Just lay it right down, and the idea is you got to crimp the stems. And as long as the grass is old enough, it'll basically die on the spot. And so I'm going to be knifing in potatoes right down these two rows in between these three. Usually I do 2 rows of potatoes, and then it'll just have a nice mat of green rye to kind of grow through. Here's bed 1 of garlic. Here's bed 2 of garlic. No cover crops in those. Those have been planted since October of last year. But yeah. So as you can tell, there's not a whole lot of big stuff going on yet, but we have a lot of seeding. This just got seeded to carrots. Siobhan did that. We got a bunch of collards going. Lettuce plugs are going in here. These are the green lettuce heads. I really like those from last year, so I'm doing a lot of those this year. Turnips and bok choy are going in the back over here. I got bug net over those. Bugs are already hitting me pretty hard on some other things. I'll show you those, but that bug net works out well. When you put it down in time, basically I seed the crop and throw it right on there. Here we go. This is a lot of parsley. I hope this video isn't giving you vertigo. This bed has more room yet. There's some lettuce transplants I'll be firing in there this week. You can just start to see the carrots coming up in this bed. That was seeded about a week and a half ago. Here is a bed that Siobhan just chopped the rye out of. So to show you what we started with earlier today. Here, these are 2 rye beds too, but I've been mowing these with the electric lawnmower. It takes like 2 passes, and it's got a bag on the back of it. And so basically I just end up with a bunch of chopped up green material that I can just throw into the compost, and it makes a real nice green matter if you guys are into your composting. But the cool thing about these is I've seeded clover in between these 2. And the nice thing about when you mow this, the clover is okay. You might hit it with a wheel, but it's too short to get clipped. So we'll probably end up chopping these out again like we did with the other beds, and it'll just be little stubs. But yeah, as the rye has been growing up, I've just been cutting it back. I think I've cut it back 3 times already. And yeah, if it doesn't get chopped out this week, it'll get chopped out next week. And there'll be kind of a nice clean bed to start in versus these beds over here. Since I'm going to be knifing in roots like the potatoes on the far side, and actually I'm going to be doing ginger in these beds, That's kind of a big seed to put in the ground, and then so those will put up a nice hardy shoot that'll hopefully pierce through some of that matter. But when you're trying to seed little things like radishes and little baby kales and stuff like that, it kind of makes it tricky when you have a big mat of green. So this is the most mature thing I got, is a bunch of radishes. They've gotten frozen a few times, so like the quality's not the best when you're dealing with freeze thaws a lot. So a couple weeks ago we had some, I think 28 and 29 degree nights, and you can tell the radish didn't like it so much. But I think we're gonna get some good roots out of there. That'll probably be one of the first things you see on the farm store, which thinking I'll get ready this weekend. There's just not a lot of stuff, guys, so if I get it going and there's just radishes, don't worry, we got more coming. And if you want to hold off to order some more stuff, I won't hold it against you. But yeah, remember how there was clovers in those other beds? So this was rye, 3 rows of rye, 1, 2, 3, and then now these 2 rows are the clover that's left. And so I always hate how when you seed a new bed, it just basically looks bare for a long time, and all the soil dries out, and it just looks sad, and you have to keep watering it because the sun's hitting it. So I really like seeing green things growing in the bed, and this bed has beets in it now. So there's 3 rows of beet seeds that got put in here 4 or 5 days ago. Beets need a little bit longer time to germinate, and they like it warm, as does clover. And so I'm thinking what's going to happen is the clover is going to start getting a head start, and then while the beets come up, I can come back through with the rice knife and just clip the clover back. And what's great about clover, it's a nitrogen fixer, and to get that nitrogen released from the root system, you chop the top of the plant, and then the plant kind of sloughs off some of the roots that has all the nitrogen nodule fixation points in it. If you guys haven't ever seen that, if you tear up a little nitrogen fixer plant, you'll see little almost like little nubs all over the root system, and those are little nodules where a certain bacteria likes to associate with certain plants that allow it to pull nitrogen out of the air, which is basically why a lot of farmers put on all that chicken manure and stuff that I was talking about, always looking for quick nitrogen, and clover will kind of do it for you for free. It just kind of adds another management challenge. These are looking good. This is iceberg lettuce, believe it or not. I think it's going to be real tasty, not like that standard watery stuff you get from the grocery store. I think this stuff's going to be real tasty. And then there's more of the salanova back there that I do with the lettuce mix, but that's pretty small yet too. This bed just got cleared out today. I don't think there's anything planted in it yet, but again, this has the clover, 2 clover stripes down the middle. I'm not sure if I'll leave those in for this one or not. I'm gonna try. I like the idea of having stuff growing all the time, like I was saying. Let's check on, where's Obi? Anyways, I think he's down. He's probably, I think I saw him walking in there. We'll go check on him later. Let's go to the greenhouse. And this is another reason why I don't have a bunch of stuff so early. Last year I had this full of greens, but this year we got carrots. So we're gonna have carrots a lot earlier than usual. I think I didn't have those until like June last year, but I think it's gonna be another maybe 2 or 3 weeks and I'll start picking these. But these are looking good. Stuff in the greenhouse grows really well. I mean, you gotta water it yourself because you're keeping the nature water off of it, so you gotta put it on yourself. But these plants just seem to have a real good life. The soil is nice in here. It's been amended a lot for all the tomatoes and things that were done in the past. These were great because you can plant these in February and they just kind of chill out just like the rye does until things warm up. Lots of starts to come in, more kale. I got some basil just started, just warm enough. Last frost was supposedly last week, so April 20th is the last frost-free date for this area from what the publications say. So we should be in the clear, but you got to keep a close eye. Here are all the potatoes. I kind of like to let them get a few eyes on them before they get put in the ground. So they're going to be ready here pretty quick. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting on that rye a little bit, but I'm guessing I might even plant them before I crimp the rye. Started doing some microgreens again, doing radish and broccoli in the trays. I started doing pea shoots in the garden. Actually, here's some radishes that look really good. Yeah, I can put these on the farm store too. So it'll be radishes and microgreens. Gosh, what a beautiful evening. It's been warm today, another warm tomorrow, and then warm the next day after that, but then we should cool off again. But gosh, it's makes it nice to work at night. Anyways, oh yeah, the pea shoots. This has been another experiment that's been working out pretty well. So basically, instead of doing the pea shoots in trays, I'm doing them straight in the garden. Basically just layering pea seeds about like 1 seed thick in like a dense mat. And then just coming through with my real sharp knife and just slicing them out. The great thing is that peas are another nitrogen fixer, and the root system that these things leave behind is pretty amazing. Not super deep, but pretty rich, I'd imagine. Here's a seed that started for this week. Basically, I'll lay the board right on top of it and water it really good, so the peas just wait underneath there until about a week, and then it'll start to lift that whole board up, and then I'll unveil the board, and all those little pea seeds will have rooted down, and they can go to town. And they have about a week before I harvest them. Here's a bed of spinach. This one's real spotty. I think I had this problem last year too, where you could kind of see, I'm thinking it's the fertilizer kind of got concentrated in a few areas. And then the spinach did really well, and a lot of parts of spinach, it came up, but it's pretty short and stubby. Oh, there he is. Good boy, Obi. Good boy. Yeah, here's a new spot here too. Expanding. When you're doing all these cover crops, I'm taking up more room that aren't with stuff that isn't necessarily productive. So here I've been making these beds, basically tarped out a 50 by 50 foot square. And then now I'm basically shoveling out these walkways. 2 passes with the spade will get you there. And that's a lot of work though. This Albemarle County soil is pretty rocky. And but yeah, it's nice to have kind of those raised beds, kind of double up what soil you have, and then you can fill in the cracks with wood chip. So here you go. First set of compost is already this high. This is all that rye I've been cutting out, mixed with a bunch of leaves, a bunch of wood chips, all sorts of stuff that I'm finding around here. A lot of neighbors have horses around here, so I'm hoping to get a good supply of horse manure coming through this too. But I don't know if you can see here, this is the thermometer, but we're sitting at 120, I think. 100. Let me see that. Oh, that's closer to 140, I think. We're cooking. Having this massive amount of stuff is kind of what you need to really get a pile going. You see there's 4 bays here. I'm gonna fill up this bay, and it kind of sinks as you fill it up. And so at some point I'm gonna pull this out and turn it into the next bin. Just turn it once. I can't be turning all this stuff, but I'd like to think that compost that's coming out of here is gonna be just amazing compared to the leaf and chicken manure compost that I usually get. Not exciting, not magical, so we're gonna make some magic. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope this isn't too long. Sit tight on more produce. By all means, support other farmers too. If you can't wait on me, I don't mind. I know I'm not your one-stop shop, although I try to be sometimes. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great winter, and look forward to a successful season. Take care.